Good morning, Sports Booth Nation. My name is Ethan Dobbick, and we've got a good episode in store for you today. I just want to take a second and begin with make sure you guys check out our website at www.thesportbooth.com. That's right, www.thesportbooth.com with no S at the end of sport. Every time you guys purchase picks from our website, you automatically get an entering into winning 4 tickets to the NFL or NCAA game of your choice in 2022. So that's a crazy deal, guys. Right now, we don't have a lot out there. So right now, if you just went and bought a pair of picks or just a set of picks and got 2 entries, you're looking pretty good to win that reward right now. And also, you can bet our picks and win money. We're 4 for 6 in the past 2 weeks in the NFL. And 4 for 6 in the past 2 weeks in college football as well. So we're definitely on a good track right now, and we're going to plan on getting a couple perfect weekends here in the near future. So I just want to break down how we're going to do everything for you guys on a daily basis from here on out. We're going to continue with the short episodes every day, but we're going to do something fun with you guys every day, whether that's power rankings, player of the week, top NCAA top 25, whatever it may be. And then we're also going to break down 4 games each day and explain why we would start certain players in that game and who we wouldn't start in those games. But that's basically it. So let's dive on into it and take it to the booth. Alrighty, starting off with our Sports Booth top 25 rankings. Excuse me, not our top 25 rankings. We're starting off with our Sports Booth power rankings for the NFL. Starting it off at number 1, we've got the undefeated Arizona Cardinals. They've just been tearing up any team that comes across them. Number 2, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, led by the GOAT, Tom Brady. He is doing good. They are doing good, and I think they're going to win the Super Bowl again this year. Number 3, we got the Los Angeles Rams, who are flying high, but had a narrowish defeat or a narrowish win against Detroit when I thought that they would have blown that game wide open. Number 4, we got Green Bay. Number 5, we got Tennessee Titans off of 2 incredible back-to-back wins against Buffalo and Kansas City, and they just looked so good against Kansas City this week. They are a good team. They got all their weapons. They got Julio. They got A.J. Brown. They got Derrick Henry. Tannehill's got his targets. That team is primed for the postseason right now, and they're going to be tough to beat. Number 6, we got the Dallas Cowboys, who are on bye. Number 7, we got the Cincinnati Bengals, who just lit up the Baltimore Ravens. Number 8, we got Buffalo Bills. Number 9, we got the Baltimore Ravens, who were number 2 last week and dropped all the way to 9 after just getting annihilated by the Cincinnati Bengals. And at number 10, we got the Chargers, who also had a bye that week. Moving over to the rest of it, 11 through 15, we got Las Vegas, Cleveland, Minnesota, New Orleans, New England. 16 through 20, we got Kansas City, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, Seattle, Chicago. 21 through 25, we got Carolina, Denver, Atlanta, the Washington football team, and San Francisco. And 26 through the bottom, we've got the Giants, Philadelphia, Jacksonville, Miami, New York Jets, the Detroit Lions, and the Houston Texans, capping it all off. Alrighty, well, that wraps up our Sports Booth top 25 rankings. Now we move on over to 4 matchups for this week that we want to talk about to start it off. We got the first one, Green Bay versus Arizona Cardinals. This is the Thursday night game. 3 players that I really like in this game are Aaron Jones, running back out of Green Bay. Green Bay currently has not the best offense. They have the 19th overall rushing yards per game in the league, but they are playing the Cardinals, who have the 18th worst run defense in the league. So I really like Aaron Jones in this. I also really like Davante Adams, even though the Cardinals have a pretty decent defense, being 11th in passing yards per game allowed. Third in defensive passing yards allowed. I think Davante Adams is just too good of a receiver. It doesn't matter who you put on him. He's going to find a way to just break him down and be dominant. And for the Cardinals, I like Kyler Murray. Obviously, these are all smash start buttons, but they are all just so good at any given time. Aaron Jones should be able to bounce back this week. I also really like Hopkins and AJ Green for the Cardinals, and I also like Aaron Rodgers as always for Green Bay. Moving on over to our next game, Seattle versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's actually in Seattle, so it's Jacksonville versus Seattle. But this one was at the top of my list for some reason, and I realized it was because the Seattle is ranked as my number one favorite team. So we're just rolling with it. Jacksonville is 19th in passing yards per game, 10th in rushing yards per game, but Seattle is 27th in defensive yards allowed per game and 30th in defensive rush yards allowed per game. So I really like Trevor Lawrence. I really like James Robinson for this week. I also really like Marvin Jones Jr. for the Jaguars this week. On the Seattle side, the only player I feel confident playing is DK Metcalf. He is just the only target that can do something there in Seattle. The running backfield is a mess right now. Who knows who's going to get the snaps? Penny, Collins, DJ Dallas. Chris Carson's going to come back soon, not this week, but soon. That I wouldn't play anybody in that backfield for a while. So, yeah. Moving on to our next game, we've got Carolina at Atlanta. Carolina is 18th in passing yards, 20th in rushing yards per game. Atlanta is 10th in passing yards and 27th in rushing yards. So I really like, hold on, gotta get to my right slide. So I really like Chuba Hubbard for the Panthers, Calvin Ridley, and Cordero Patterson for the Falcons. Those three guys are the only ones that I really like in this game to be able to produce something. Mike Davis is super touchdown dependent. If he doesn't get that tutty, he's just an irrelevant fantasy play. Calvin Ridley, though, is just too good of a receiver, kind of like Devontae Adams, where he, no matter where you put him, he's just going to be dominant. And Chuba Hubbard is the only option I feel even kind of remotely comfortable playing in that Carolina defense or offense right now. It is an ugly situation there in Carolina. And moving on down to our last game that we're going to cover today, we've got the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins. I really like Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Currently, the Bills have the 8th overall passing yards per game, and the Miami defense has the 30th defensive passing yards allowed per game. So Buffalo is just going to obliterate them, especially with no Dawson Knox. So I also really like Emmanuel Sanders and Cole Beasley in this matchup as well. Miami, the only player I really like, maybe beside Gesicki and Tua. So I guess I really like 3 players. I don't know why I said the only player I really like. But I really like Jalen Waddle. He is the clear favorite target for Tua, maybe tied with Gesicki, but Jalen Waddle just has that speed and burst that he can get you those big plays, and Tua looks for him in those red zones. So look for him to be a really good play this weekend. Well, that wraps up our Tuesday Tossup episode, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your support as always. Make sure you check out our website at www.thesportbooth.com. That's right, www.thesportbooth.com with no S at the end of sport to purchase all of your sick merch. It is so cool, so comfortable. I wore my Sports Booth hoodie to the Oregon State Beaver football game this last weekend, and it was cold and it was rainy, and man, I was just so cozy in my Sports Booth hoodie. Of course, I had my Beaver shirt on as well, but I got the orange and black one, so I was still repping school colors. Represent, baby. So comfortable, guys. I highly recommend it, and obviously you help us out when you do that. So we would really greatly appreciate that. But also on the website is where you purchase our sports picks, which can enter you to win 4 tickets to the game of your choice in the 2022 NFL or NCAA football season. Well, guys, that wraps it up here. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Make sure you check out our website. Make sure you follow us and all that stuff. We appreciate you guys as always. And once again, thank you for tuning in. After review, the booth says it's good. Have an amazing day, everyone.